Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Jackson Beck starring as Philo Vance. This episode of the program, entitled The Muddy Murder Case, originally broadcast July 4th, 1950.
Sit down, please, Vance. Sit down and be prepared for the most ridiculous situation you ever heard.
Well, Markham, that takes in a lot of territory.
As a private investigator, you've encountered a lot of weird murders, I know. As a district attorney, so have I.
I'm well aware of that. What's so completely fantastic about this one?
Let me give you a rundown on it.
All right.
First of all, you've heard of John Williams.
Racket leader, gunman, shot dead last night.
Yes.
I read about it on the way down here.
You only read part of it, believe me. Williams had a three-way deal with two other operators, Sam Foster and Whitey Morrow. They had a working arrangement, but as I understand it, they split last month.
Nothing too fantastic about the situation yet, Markham.
Wait. It's reasonable to believe, as we do, that either Sam Foster or Whitey Morrow killed Williams. The motive is obvious.
Markham, please.
All right. I just wanted to bring you up to date on the background. Now listen. Williams lived in a house in the country.
Yes?
You know how it rained all day yesterday?
Certainly I know. I just had my car washed. Always rains immediately afterward.
I have the same thing happen when I wear a suit that's just been pressed. But let's get back to Williams. His house in the country was surrounded, completely surrounded, mind you, by a sea of mud.
Williams was shot inside the house. There was no way for the killer to get in except by going through the mud, and there were no footprints.
Vance.
How did I know?
Yes.
That would be fantastic, and you assured me this case was.
Yes.
How do you know the killer didn't arrive and leave before the rain?
Your guessing was good, Vance, but not complete. Williams had a housekeeper. She was home when the shop that killed him was fired. She came downstairs, but saw nobody, put on the yard lights, and immediately noticed no footprints. And there were no convenient trees, if that's what you're thinking.
She might have killed Williams. Or she might be lying.
I doubt it. No, Vance, she isn't our killer. Whoever it is, Sam Foster or Whitey Morrow, has figured out a murder that we can't possibly tie to him, because there isn't a way in the world it could have been done.
Hey, Mr. Foster.
Yes, Oscar?
What, yes?
You just said, hey, Mr. Foster.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Mr. Foster, 8 subway trains pretty, huh?
Keep your mind on what you're doing.
I said 8 subway trains pretty, Mr. Foster.
I heard you.
I'm keeping my mind on what I'm doing.
Oh, you know, Oscar, if you weren't so handy with a gun, I couldn't stand you around me.
But I am keeping my mind on what I'm doing.
Will you please answer the question I asked and not the one before? You're driving me nuts.
Well, if I wasn't handy with a gun, why couldn't you stand me?
I'm past that. Oscar, do me a favor. Shut up.
You know why I don't answer the same question you ask, and I answer the one before?
Why?
Because it takes time to get things through my head. I ain't quick.
Except with a gun. Now, look, forget everything I said up till now. Just listen.
Huh?
Listen to me.
Okay.
That's better. We know Whitey Morrow comes to his office every day, using the subway. He hates cabs.
I am listening.
Oh, brother. Oscar, stay with me.
Yeah.
Morrow is due here any second. He'll wait for a train. When it comes in the station, you let him have it, and we get out. Do you understand?
Sure, I understand. Sure.
What do you understand?
I should listen to you.
That's fine. I think maybe I'd better call off. Oscar, there's Whitey, just going through the turnstile.
Whitey is due here any second. When he comes, I wait for the train.
The train's coming in. He doesn't see us. I'm walking back of him with me. Come on.
What?
Walking back of him with me. Come on.
Oh, come on, you.
That's right. He's reading his paper. He doesn't see us. Go ahead, Oscar. Now.
What?
The gun. Give it to him right in the back.
Oh, now?
I said now, didn't I?
You want I should kill him?
Oscar.
Okay. Now.
Come on, Oscar. Let's beat it.
Hey, you know something, Mr. Foster?
What is it?
I think we ought to beat it.
Whitey Morrow's in pretty bad shape, Mr. Vance. There were 3 bullets in him, but he's lived up until now, although I don't know how.
Pretty tough character, eh, Doctor?
He certainly is. Only in a little while we'll be saying he certainly was. He doesn't have a chance.
Does he know that?
I've told him, the police have told him. He's pretty hard to convince.
It's about the last thing a man wants to admit, isn't it?
I suppose so. Anyhow, you can go in. You're working on this case, Vance?
Only if it ties up with the murder of a man named John Williams, Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Williams was killed under completely impossible circumstances.
Oh?
Williams and Whitey Morrow inside were 2/3 of a crime syndicate. It wouldn't be strange if the other third, Sam Foster, killed Williams and almost got Morrow in the subway. Anyhow, that's what I want to find out.
Call me if I can help.
I will, Doctor. Hello, Morrow.
Whoever you are, go away.
I'm Philo Vance, Whitey. Remember me? I did you a favor once.
Do me another one, I'll get lost.
Who shot you, Whitey?
As soon as I get out of here, you watch the papers. The first guy that gets bumped is the guy that tried to get me.
The doctors say you aren't ever going to get out of here.
What do they know? Who got shot, them? No, me. So who should know if I'm going to get better, them? No, me.
You and John Williams were in partnership with Sam Foster, Whitey. You broke up. Foster wants to run the whole racket, so he killed Williams and he tried to kill you.
Wasn't that simply nasty of him?
Unless you killed Williams.
Me. Johnny and me were friends. Besides, I could never figure out a way to kill him with a flock of mud outside his house and no footprints. Sam's pretty... Sam...
Whitey. Whitey. Dr. Manders. Dr. Manders.
Yes, Vance, I'm coming. What is it?
Take a look at the patient, Doctor.
Very well.
I think he's dead, only I didn't take time to make sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he's dead, all right. Although how he lived this long after being shot is a mystery.
You think that's a mystery, Doctor? How about the one I'm going to work on now? How a man could walk through 30 feet of mud without leaving a footprint.
Oh, Sam, you're priceless.
Sure. Did you ever hear the one about... Wait a minute, baby. Who is it? I said, who is it?
It's me, Oscar, Mr. Foster. Could I come in?
Beat it. Come back next year.
Oh, Sam.
I said, could I come in?
Later.
Next year? Okay, I'll come back next year.
That Oscar, Sam, he's priceless. Am I getting heavy on your knee, Sam?
Sure. But it's worth it. Give here, baby.
Come closer to you? How could I do that? Oh, Sam, you're priceless.
You feel good, don't you, baby?
Well, why not? I'm with the biggest man in town. That makes me the biggest gal in town, don't it?
It all depends on how you look at it. You're glad Johnny Williams is out of the way.
Almost as glad as you are.
Yeah. He did give you a rough deal. But you had nothing against Whitey Morrow.
No, I kind of liked him. He had a lot of funny jokes. Honestly, told me when I nearly died laughing at him. He was priceless.
Yeah, sure. You read about how Johnny Williams died, sugar.
Read about it? Oh, sure, I read about it. Can't figure it out, but I read about it.
You aren't the only one can't figure it, Junie.
Johnny Williams ain't the only one I read about either, Sam. I read about a fella named Philo Vance, they say, is working on the case.
Good. I like to see a fella have a shot.
Oh, you're smarter than that, Sam. You know Vance has got plenty on the ball.
Sure, but he's got nothing on me.
Well, he's good enough for now, but you know how your stooge Oscar talks? He thinks so slow, he's always one sentence behind what you ask him.
Sure. What about it?
Well, Vance, I hear, is just the opposite. He's thinking one move ahead of you all the time. The guy's priceless, Sam.
I wouldn't think of trying to buy him off, baby.
He's kind of careless, too.
I wasn't thinking of trying to scare him off. He isn't deathless, is he, honey?
I know, Vance, but...
Hold everything, Markham. I haven't even begun my investigations yet. I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Where are you, Vance?
As soon as I hang up this phone, I'm going out to Johnny Williams' house. The house of mystery.
What's the point? There's nothing there. It's just a house. On the day of the murder, it was surrounded by a sea of mud.
It's the same way right now, then. This rain will see to that. But I want to question Williams' housekeeper.
I understand. I hope you understand that Sam Foster is the new underworld king of this town, now that Williams and Morrow are dead.
Yes, I realize that, and I hope to prove to be a little sunshine to Mr. Foster.
You're going to be a little sunshine to Foster? How do you mean?
You said he was the king, didn't you?
Yes.
Well, weather reports to the contrary. I'm going to try to see that he doesn't reign anymore.
Oh, Vance.
Hello in there. Anybody home? I could have sworn it would creak. Hello.
Well?
I said hello. My name is Philo Vance. You're Johnny Williams' housekeeper?
Yes.
It's rather chilly out here and more than a little wet. May I come in?
If you like.
Thank you. Oh. To keep in character, I'm surprised you don't have an Angora cat on your shoulder.
I hate cats.
May I ask your name?
Mrs. Stewart. What do you want here, Vance?
Mrs. Stewart, I'd like you to understand something.
Well?
Police are convinced that Mr. Williams was killed by somebody who came into this house and left it without leaving any footprints, even though this house is surrounded by mud.
And you're not convinced?
That's right. Before I knocked at the door, I tried to think of how I could possibly get from the road to the porch, a distance of about 30 feet, without leaving any prints.
And?
My footprints are in the mud. It can't be done. And inasmuch as it can't be done, my theory is that Mr. Williams was killed by somebody in this house.
I was in the house when the shots were fired.
That's what I meant.
That I shot him?
Why not? You had opportunity. If you had a motive, and you might very possibly have had a motive. Duck down on the floor, quick! Oh. Did you get hit?
No. Thank you for the warning.
Never mind that. Let's find whoever it is that fired at us. You stay here.
Where are you going?
Out through the door. The shots came from the front window. The killer may be outside. I'm going outside to see.
There are floodlights that light up the entire yard. Wait a minute. There. Only if you're going out, I'm going with you.
Very well, but stay in back of me. I don't see anybody.
What else don't you see?
What?
What else don't you see?
I don't understand what you mean.
How many sets of footprints do you see in the ground, Vance?
How many?
Yes.
Why, there's only one set leading to the house. Those are mine.
You were with me when someone broke the glass in the window and fired. You must have seen a figure on the porch or you couldn't have warned me.
Yes.
That's the situation you said was impossible. The same situation that occurred when Mr. Williams died. Do you still think it's impossible, Vance?
July 4th, 1950, Philo Vance on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You ever make a change and then think, why didn't I do this years ago? Well, that's how people feel about switching to Medishare for their health care, especially now with inflation the way it is. People are very happy with the savings. Most families save about $500 a month when they switch. It's a huge help when prices are going up so fast in so many other areas. And Medishare's customer satisfaction rate is double that of health insurance. It's just a different experience, and people really like that. Medishare is an alternative to health insurance. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it's been going strong for over 25 years. It really is the gold standard, the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. Find out why people love it, find out why they rave about the customer service, and find out how good it feels to save some money right now. They're super easy to talk to. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, July 4th, 1950, Jackson Beck, Philo Vance, and the Muddy Murder Case.
This is District Attorney Markham. The Muddy Murder Case began with the shooting of Johnny Williams, racketeer. Although his house was completely surrounded by mud, and although Williams was killed at close range, we found no footprints in the mud. Nobody but Williams' housekeeper was in his home. We suspect a racketeer named Sam Foster, especially since we think he killed another former ally. But Vance, who is in my office, can offer no immediate...
That's the story, Markham. I was in the house, saw a figure on the porch, was there when the shots were fired, so I know somebody crossed 30 feet of mud without leaving any footprints.
That settles it, then, doesn't it? It can be done.
Would it surprise you if I told you that now I think I know how it was done?
Nothing you tell me surprises me any more, Vance. You're not thinking of anything as fantastic as a helicopter or some sort of flying apparatus, are you?
Markham.
No, I didn't think you were.
Having an idea and doing something about it are two different things, though. This Sam Foster, Markham.
The man who takes over the town's rackets, what about him?
It's reasonable to believe that he killed Williams and Whitey Morrow, too, in order to get sole control. Is he a college man?
I'm sure I don't know.
I'm sure you could find out.
Yes, I suppose so. You think he found a mathematical formula for reducing the 30 feet of mud to 1 foot and stepped across it?
No, that isn't it at all. Find out for me if he went to college, and what college it was he went to. Then maybe I'll find out something for you.
You know what I don't understand, Julie girl? I don't understand why you don't like me.
What are you talking about, Oscar?
Just don't understand it, that's all. I'm big, I'm an important guy, I'm Mr. Foster's right-hand man.
That's true.
All right, so I ain't pretty.
Look, you better not let Foster hear you.
What am I talking about? I'm talking about you and me, Junie girl.
One half of that is very interesting conversation.
So Foster finds out, so what?
So you'll find out.
Which half of you and me is interesting? Come here, baby.
Here, cut that out, Oscar.
You didn't hear me say, come here, baby.
I said cut it out, Oscar.
Okay, so I come to you.
No.
Don't that feel nice and cozy being here by your arms?
You don't leave me alone.
Hey, what you playing in here? Beauty and the Beast?
Sam, this ape of yours tried to go in the mix for me.
What goes on, Oscar?
What do you mean, Beauty and the Beast? What does that mean, Beauty and the Beast? Junie looked good to me. I tried to tell her.
You tried to show me, I told you what would happen when I told Sam.
What did happen, baby?
You ain't sore? You ain't going to take this big lug apart?
Oscar is a very important member of my organization, June.
Oh, and I'm not.
Not of my business organization. And business, you know, honey, always comes before anything else.
Hello, Vance speaking.
This is Philo Vance.
Unquestionably.
Well, Vance, you don't know me. Sometime you may realize how bad that is for you.
Well, in that event, let's make that sometime right now.
No can do, Vance. Look, I read that you're working on the murder of Johnny Williams. Like to know who killed him and Whitey Morrow?
Sam Foster.
That's right.
What did Foster ever do to you?
You mean, why am I tipping you off?
Yes.
Because I'm playing second fiddle to a gun-crazy goon, that's why.
Good enough reason. You can prove that Foster killed Williams and Morrow?
He killed Williams, and he had that gun-crazy goon I was telling you about kill Morrow.
How was Williams killed with all that mud surrounding his house?
Search me.
That would hardly clarify the situation.
Well,
You mean you don't know?
That's right. I don't know everything.
What you've told me, miss, is what the police and I already suspect. But can you prove what you're saying?
What's the matter? Ain't my word good enough?
It is for me, but a jury is unreasonable. It likes to have proof.
Yeah, I suppose
But
you're right.
perhaps I can get that proof. The district attorney found out for me that Foster went to State College. Now, you tell me where Sam Foster and his friend can be found.
Ray Dahl Apartments. They got a suite. You go there, Vance, and see that they get a headache.
Look, Oscar, one thing you've got to stop. Oscar, are you listening to me?
Yeah, Mr. Foster.
That's what I mean. You've got to stop answering questions a minute after I ask them.
I gotta stop answering the question. Oh, yeah, I get you. But I explained that to you 100 times.
Oh,
it takes a long time for me to get things in my head. By the time I do, you're asking me something else.
All I wish is you weren't so handy with an automatic. And by the way, keep away from June. That happens to be...
Happens to be what?
Somebody at the door, Oscar.
Oh, wait, that just like people. For once, I concentrate and I answer the question you're asking, and you switch to something else.
Shut up.
You want me to get the door?
Get in the next room. I'll take care of it.
All right.
I'm coming. Well?
I'm Philo Vance. You're Sam Foster?
Yes. Now that we have the introductions out of the way, so long, Vance.
Oh, no, you don't.
Congratulations, strong man. You pushed open the door.
What are you going to do for an encore? Twist an iron bar around your arm?
Foster, there are a lot of things in the world I hate, and you represent most of them. Murder, smugness, disregard of other people.
Oscar? Oh, Oscar.
Calling for help already, Foster?
Nothing like being prepared. Only this help of mine takes a little time to understand things. Oscar!
Did you call me Mr. Foster?
Yes,
he
Oscar.
does look a little like an ape.
Wait until he realizes what you just said, Vance. You'll be the one who needs help.
I look like a what?
You look like...
Vance, why don't you be a nice guy and get out of here? Legs are nice things to walk around on. You shouldn't want yours broken.
I don't see anybody here that's capable of giving me even a little exercise.
Oscar, go to work on him.
What is it I look like a...
Go to work on this guy. Make him sorry he talks so much. Now.
Oh, go to work on him. Why didn't you say we was having a party? Hey, get you a treat. You're more at home. Okay, Oscar, this is it. The things the guy says. What am I supposed to do? Roll over and play
Took him a little while to realize he was knocked cold, eh, Foster?
Apparently. You handled yourself pretty good, Vance.
You mean pretty well, don't you, Foster? They never taught you to say pretty good at State University, did they?
July 4th, 1950, Jackson Beck as Philo Vance. We'll also have an episode of The Adventures of Jungle Jim when Classic Radio Theater continues.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Philo Vance, the muddy murder case from July 4th, 1950.
What about me and State?
Nothing much. I'm just waiting for one little bit of information. And the 4 years you spent at State will seem nothing to the years that the State has reserved for you.
Yes, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye. Finally.
You got what you wanted, D.A.?
Yes, June, I did.
That's good.
That was State College, and as usual, Vance was right. I don't see yet how this solves the Johnny Williams murder mystery, but I'm sure Vance does.
You know, I think Vance knows everything.
Yes.
I tried to tell that to Sam Foster, and that's one reason I think he took a shot at Vance out at the Williams house when Vance was talking to the housekeeper.
Undoubtedly. As for you, young lady, I think now that Vance has sent you to me, I better see to it that you're taken care of.
Oh, you're priceless, Mark.
I mean, placed in protective custody.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, after I'm sure you're all right, I'll meet Vance, and the two of us will go to see Foster and Oscar.
Only don't leave without arresting them. I don't feel safe anymore with either one of them around. When Foster took Oscar's side, I had an idea he'd let that big lug shoot me if it would make him happy. That's why I went to Vance in the first place.
I understand. Everything will be all right for you, June, after Vance and I visit your former friends. It'll be all right for you and annoying to a couple of men who are all wrong.
It isn't that Oscar and I aren't very honored by this visit, you understand?
You're very kind.
It isn't often that a district attorney and a distinguished private investigator come to call on us. Right, Oscar?
Never mind that nonsense, Foster. I came up here to tell you that you and Oscar are going downtown with Markham and me.
What's right, Mr. Foster?
Shut up, Oscar.
Well, I was...
Take that slower, Vance. What makes you think you can drag us downtown? On what charge?
Murder, of course. Murder of John Williams and Whitey Morrow.
Oh. I killed them both, eh, D.A.?
According to our information, you killed Williams and had Oscar shoot Morrow. I'm pretty sure the information is right.
Hold everything. How can you think I killed Williams when you can't even think of how the guy was killed? You know somebody was in his house, but there were no footprints leading to and from that house.
That's perfectly right, Foster. There weren't any because Williams' killer didn't walk through the mud.
Oh. He flew through it, huh? Put on wings and flew over it.
You're pretty close. But what's more important, so am I. Remember I asked you about State when I was here last?
So?
Mr. Markham called State. Found out some very valuable information in regard to your athletic activities in school.
You guys know too much. Let's get them, Oscar.
Okay with me.
This is very much.
Me, Markham, look out. That Oscar's going for a gun.
He's going to get that gun.
Oh! This is gun. Marty.
Two down, Vance. I'm sorry I had to shoot that Oscar, but it was either him or me, and I'm selfish that way.
I don't blame you one bit, Markham. He's still alive and still able to stand trial, I think. You won't have to worry about getting a conviction, I don't believe.
With your theory and the girl's testimony, not to mention the possibility that the death bullets in Williams and Morrow will match the guns belonging to these individuals, I'm pretty sure we'll be all right.
Pretty cute idea Foster had for the Williams murder, wasn't it?
The no footprints thing?
Mm-hmm.
Very cute. In fact, it was one of the most interesting gimmicks I've ever encountered. Let's talk about it as soon as we take these two characters down to headquarters. Wait a minute, Vance. I'll give you a light.
Oh, thanks.
There you are.
Thanks, Markham.
Now, tell me, what gave you the idea that Sam Foster was an athlete?
It was one way a man could get over 30 feet of mud, Markham, using a pole such as vaulters use in athletic meets.
Uh-huh.
A run on the road, insert the pole in the mud, pull yourself up and out. You could land on Williams' porch without leaving any tracks.
As soon as State told us that Foster had been a pole vaulter, I knew what your theory was. And he knew that he was finished as soon as we brought up the fact that we did know.
Yes. And Markham, I'm very happy about the whole thing. It really had me confused for quite a while. He undoubtedly followed me to the Williams place and tried to kill me when I was there questioning the housekeeper.
Uh-huh.
Although I thought for a minute it was she he was after.
It doesn't matter now. So far as any killings or would-be killings are concerned, Foster and Oscar are finished.
And you know, Markham, so is the muddy murder case.
From July 4th, 1950, Philo Vance, starring Jackson Beck, on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just two of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
On our webpage, which is classicradio.stream, we have a point where you can send us a note. And Bill who didn't tell us where he's from, but sent me a note saying, play more Jungle Jim. Those are great. And so we're going to have more Jungle Jim. This episode from July 4th, 1936 is entitled The Purple Triangle.
Presenting the adventures of Jungle Jim. Last week, Lyn Fu took his captive, Lyn Chalmers, to the Purple Triangle headquarters. There she was questioned by the leader, Derek Bluger. The interview was interrupted by the arrival of Shanghai Lil. Bluger ordered Lyn taken away and held for further questioning as to her knowledge of Jungle Jim's plans, while the renegade American welcomed Shanghai Lil. In the meantime, Jungle Jim, Kolo, and Chung were making their way through Tsuling Pass, the entrance to Bluger's territory, when suddenly a shot rang out. Chung pitched forward and slipped out of his saddle. The thrilling adventures of Jungle Jim are pictured each Sunday in the Comic Weekly, the world's greatest pictorial supplement of humor and adventure. The Comic Weekly, each page printed in full colors, is distributed everywhere as an integral part of your Hearst Sunday newspaper. And now we continue the story. As Chung, the Chinese secret agent, falls out of his saddle, Jim and Kolo bring their terrified horses to a stop.
Oh, boy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Steady, boy. Kolo! Chung's been hit. Hold the horses.
Yes, it's what Jim. Kolo do.
Chung. Where'd they get you? Chung. Look up here, old man.
What we do for him, Tuan Jim?
There's nothing we can do, Kolo.
Him die?
He's dead.
Too bad. Him good fella master.
You're right. Although Chung's skin was yellow in color, he was one white man if there ever was one. Kolo, did you see who fired that shot?
Yes, it Tuan Jim. Me see Mongol man on horse.
Where?
In hills, up there.
There's no one up there now.
No, Tuan Jim. Mongol man shoot, then ride away, quick, like flashing sky.
To warn Derek Bluger we're coming.
Maybe, Tuan Jim.
There's no maybe about it. We're in a tight spot, Kolo.
Yes, it Tuan. What we do?
Well, the first thing is to bury poor Chung. Get that spade out of our pack, Kolo, and dig a grave over there among those rocks. He'll be safe from any marauders there.
Yes, it Tuan.
I'll empty his pockets of papers and personal effects so that we can take them to the consul in Shanghai to be sent to his relatives.
Me dig here, Tuan Jim?
Yes, that's a good place. Well, Chung went the way he always wanted and expected to. Suddenly. I remember him telling me, Jim, there's an old saying, what is to happen will happen. That is my philosophy of life. That's my philosophy of life, too, Kolo.
What name?
Well, that means I'll die when my time comes, and not before. Here's hoping it's not before I meet up with Derek Bluger. I want to see that fellow for a couple of reasons.
How we find him now, Tuan Jim? No more guide.
We'll have to be our own guides now. Just before Chung was shot, he told me if we got through this pass, the rest would be easy.
Me think it's better, Tuan. Chung our guide.
You may be right, Kolo. Perhaps Chung meant that from now on it would be easy for him to take us into Bluger's camp. But since he's dead, we'll just have to carry on the best we can.
Yes, it's Tuan.
He said all roads lead to Bluger's. But which is the shortest and most direct, we'll never know.
Grave ready, Tuan Jim.
All right. Give me a hand.
Yes, it's Tuan.
Lower him gently. Easy, easy. That's it. So long, Chung. And I salute one white China boy.
Tuan Jim, what we do now?
We better take what supplies we can carry and proceed on foot.
What we do with horses?
Stampede them. We'll make less noise and make smaller targets without them.
Me think better travel nighttime, Tuan.
Good idea, Kolo. You turn the horses loose. Then we'll hit the trail for the hideout of Derek Bluger.
At that moment in the hideout of the leader of the secret Purple Triangle Society, Derek Bluger is again cross-examining Lyn Chalmers.
I'm so sorry that our first little tete-a-tete was interrupted so abruptly, Miss Chalmers. If I'm not mistaken, you were just about to tell me where Jungle Jim Bradley is.
As usual, Mr. Bluger, you are mistaken. I wasn't about to do any such thing.
You weren't, huh?
No.
I may as well warn you right now, Miss Chalmers. I'm a very patient man. But when my patience has been exhausted, it goes hard with the man or woman who tries to defy me.
Yes, so I've heard.
Ah, you know my reputation. I didn't realize it had traveled so extensively.
Oh, it hasn't traveled so far, Mr. Bluger. Only from Lyn Fu to me.
Oh. Well, you couldn't have had a better authority. Lyn Poole learned my methods of combating defiance through personal experience. Now, to get back to the question, where is Jungle Jim now?
I don't know.
Still stubborn, huh?
I'm not stubborn.
Pardon me. I should have said temperamental. Inadvertently, I used Lyn Poole's description of you.
Well, you certainly don't fit the description Lyn Poole gave of you. For a man who is supposed to be a great leader, you haven't very much knowledge of human nature.
I know every man in the Purple Triangle organization like a book.
Men, perhaps, but not women.
You're wrong again. No woman has ever put anything over on Derek Bluger. And I say, without boasting, the very best of them have tried at one time or another. It's needless to point out that a young, unsophisticated schoolgirl can't fool me.
I suppose you're referring to me.
No one else, my dear. You still insist that you don't know where Jungle Jim is?
Yes. I only know what Lyn Poole has told me, that Jim is still alive.
I suppose you didn't know that he was coming to Shanghai at the request of the American consul.
I knew that, yes. A Chinese messenger came for him. But I heard at Borawani that he'd left in the plane belonging to a woman known as Shanghai Lil.
Ah, then perhaps you can tell me why she flew him to Shanghai.
No, I can't tell you that. But all his friends in Borawani were afraid he stepped into a trap. They were afraid he would never get to Shanghai alive.
And he wouldn't have. Well, as Bobby Burns once phrased it, the best-laid plans of mice and men gang after glee. You see, I sent that Chinese messenger for Jungle Jim.
You?
Yes. One of my agents learned the American consul at Shanghai was going to send for him. I sent a man named Lo Tung, who was to decoy him on Lyn Poole's steamer, the one you came on, and he would have disappeared at sea.
Oh, thank heavens that Lo Tung got killed.
I don't suppose you know who did that.
No. It happened before Father and I got to Borawani from up country.
I've never been able to solve the mystery of that. But someday I'll reckon with the person who spoiled my plans. Fool, can't you see that I'm busy? I left orders I was not to be disturbed.
Very sorry, sir. But horsemen from hills report approach of 3 strangers. He shot one. The other 2 escaped.
What? He let 2 escape? Put him under arrest.
Yes, Most High Superior, at once.
Strangers, huh? We'll find out what they were doing in my hills.
They couldn't be looking for me by any chance.
If they are, they'll find you sooner than they expect. And they'll find themselves my prisoners also. Come in.
You rang, Most High Superior?
Yes. Did you see anyone, any strangers, I mean, in the hills as you flew up from Shanghai?
No, Most High Superior. Saw no sign of strangers anytime.
And who are those foreigners the sentry fired on?
Impossible to imagine, Most High Superior. Shall I take out plane and look for them?
No, I'll go myself. You take Miss Chalmers back to her cell and guard her while I'm gone. I have a plan by which we can get her to talk.
Sometime later, as Lyn Poole stands guard over Lyn Chalmers, a familiar figure approaches him.
Hello, Lyn Poole. Long time no see.
Shanghai Lil. I hear you in camp. I'm very glad to see you again.
Are you? Thanks. How's your little songbird in there?
Missy Chalmers?
Yes.
She very quiet. Say nothing.
Oh.
All the way from Shanghai, I try find out what she know about Jungle Jim Bradley. All I learn is she know nothing.
Well, her psalm-singing father knows plenty.
How so?
As soon as your plane left, Frankie tipped him off that you'd skip town with his daughter.
So?
The Reverend sized it up as a case of tall, dark, and ransom, and lit into me.
That's why strangers are coming this way. Missionary and police, eh?
Well, your guess is as good as mine, Lyn Poole. And I hope it's the pulpit pounder they shot. Anyway, I'll bet it's not Frankie.
Frankie, traitor. I see that he is disposed of.
Yeah, I thought you would. That's why I told you.
It's good you showed up here, Shanghai Lil. Most High Superior much worried about you.
Yeah, I know. But since I got here, Derek sure has spread himself.
You know why?
Why?
You have but 2 crook finger, and he bark for you like little dog.
Think so?
I know so. Nobody in world has as much influence with him as you, Shanghai Lil. He pretend not heed what you say, but he listen all same.
He used to, but that was quite some time ago.
Derek Bluger still same way about you, Shanghai Lil.
Well, thanks for the tip. But to tell you the truth, I've begun to suspect that myself.
You have had plans already for a great uprising?
Yes, Derek was telling me. The blow-up ought to come any time now.
Yes, if these strangers are captured, if we can locate Jungle Jim Bradley, he only fly in ointment.
Yes?
He only clever man on trail of Most High Superior. Months, government agents and police have been searching for this camp. Have any found it? Not one. If one showed his face round here, he would never be able to show it anywhere else.
I can well imagine. Derek and you make a most effective reception committee.
Thank you.
Oh, listen. What plane is that?
That is one of our new bombing planes, now arriving for establishing our Purple Triangle Kingdom.
Oh.
Tell me, how is your Bat Kingdom in Malaysia?
To put it briefly, Lin Poo, it isn't.
What happened? Last I heard, it was most flourishing.
Well, so it was until somebody got too interested in it in a most unfriendly way.
Whom do you mean?
That snooping soul saver, Lyn Chalmers.
Ah, pity some people not mind own business. I also had trouble with Chalmers on board ship.
Yeah?
Perhaps for all information we obtained from girl, I should have brought missionary here.
I sent one of my native boys to capture the sky pilot for me, but I didn't get anywhere with him. A clam in a neighborhood is a neighborhood gossip compared to him.
Holding tongue seems to be family trait.
Yes. While I was letting him think things over in my guest house, who should come poking his nose through the fence but Jungle Jim Bradley?
I wish he would poke nose through our fence here.
Keep everything crossed, Lin Poo. He probably will.
But it's more better if we find out how close he is.
Maybe I can find out for you.
How you find out?
By talking to the little Girl Scout.
I wish you luck, Shanghai Lil. I thought I make her talk. Most High Superior think he make her talk. She only denies she knows anything of Jungle Jim Bradley's plans.
So I hear. It seems that when Miss Chalmers won't talk, she won't talk.
No.
Well, you've all had a try at getting the information. Why not let me have a try?
Ah, most excellent idea. You may get Missy Chalmers' confidence, since you know each other.
We know each other only through a mutual friend, but here's where we get acquainted. Take me to this Lyn Chalmers.
Meanwhile, Jim and Kolo proceed through Tsuling Pass under cover of darkness.
How are you making out, Kolo?
Me all right, Tuan Jim.
Hard going with these packs. We've got to make the best of it. Gosh, it seems funny not having Chung with us.
Yes, it, Tuan Jim.
I wish you'd told me more about what lies on the other side of this pass. It would have made things so much easier for us. But of course, we didn't have any idea he'd never live to get through here.
Tuan Jim, look.
Hey, where?
Down there, 2 soldiers. Maybe Bluger men.
Yeah, keep down. Don't let them see us.
Soldiers no see us, Tuan. Have backs to us.
Yeah. Say, listen, I've got an idea, Kolo.
Yes, Tuan Jim.
It's a desperate plan, but first we must capture those soldiers and then get their uniforms.
What desperate plan is Jungle Jim now forming, and can it succeed? The adventures you have just heard dramatized are shown in full-color action pictures in the Comic Weekly, the world's greatest pictorial supplement of humor and adventure distributed with your Hearst Sunday newspaper everywhere. In the Comic Weekly, there are all the famous characters who live in the world of color pictures. There's Jiggs and Maggie in Bringing Up Father, Skippy, Sentinel Louie, Barney Google, Toots and Casper, and the Katzenjammer Kids. There is also the feature called Heroes of American History. Don't forget our date next week, same time, same station, for a continuation of the adventures of Jungle Jim.
Yeah, The Adventures of Jungle Jim, not a national show. It was primarily intended to promote sales of the Sunday paper, so it only ran on the weekends. Depending upon where you were and what station ran it, it ran on Saturdays or Sundays. And there you go, Bill. William, who sent us an email about that through our webpage at classicradio.stream, asking for more. So we'll bring you more as I'm able to find them. The Adventures of Jungle Jim, July 4th, 1936 here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Yes, you can contact us through my webpage, classicradio.stream. You can, at that webpage, you can also learn more about classic radio collecting. You can stream our shows on demand, and you can also find all of our social media links. And you can also find a list of places where you can hear Classic Radio Theater on demand. We don't have a station list. I need to put up a link to that over at GCN, but we will get that for you as we have a moment. Now, One other very important thing to tell you is to thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allow us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite station. And however you listen to us, that's the way to do it for radio stations. If you listen to our podcast on demands, like us, thumbs up, whatever it takes. Let people know we're here to help people spread the word. Tell all your friends about Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox right here on your favorite radio station.